Matikela, welcome to my YouTube channel. So I want us to talk about Ubalo. For me, guys, unesibindi. Oh, Mugai, unesibindi, liver and inamantshontsho sana, if you ask me, because what do you mean? What do you mean he's still hanging on to the case, knowing very well and seeing what is happening right now? If I was him, I would have called it quits long time ago, but no, not Mr. Baloyi. He's unwilling to call it quits, Kesan. Oh, he is so unwilling to call it quits. Akafuni, akavumi ngaye. Uxolele ukulwa. Uxolele ujingiso. Based on what has emerged in open court, that is certainly one of the arguments being advanced by some observers and supporters of the accused. However, what is important to separate perception, allegations, and proven facts. Now, from a legal perspective, a prosecutor's role is generally to present the state's case fairly and objectively, not to become personally invested in securing a conviction. If evidence emerges suggesting that a prosecutor participated directly in investigations, influenced witness statements, became involved in evidence gathering beyond a prosecutorial role, or withheld witnesses who may have assisted the defense, then those issues can become legitimate areas of scrutiny during a trial. And that is where we are when it comes to Ubaloyi. Hence, I say, unesibindi. Unesibindi. In the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial, several defense witnesses have testified about interactions involving Advocate George Baloyi. The defense has used that testimony to suggest that Baloyi's involvement went beyond what would normally be expected of a prosecutor. The significance of those allegations, however, depends on whether they are ultimately accepted by the court and supported by reliable evidence. The defense strategy appears to be focused on several themes. 1, challenging the integrity of the investigation. 2, challenging the conduct of the National Cold Case Unit. 3, challenging the circumstances surrounding confessions and statements. 4, challenging the role played by prosecutors and investigators before the trial. 5, suggesting that potentially important witnesses were not called by the state. And now we are sitting here wondering, okay, we stopped wondering because we found out why they were not called. However, there is also another legal view. Prosecutors often interview numerous potential witnesses before deciding who to call. The mere fact that a witness was ultimately called by the state does not automatically mean misconduct occurred. Prosecutors routinely decide that certain witnesses are unnecessary, unreliable, repetitive, or not helpful to the case they intend to present. Fine. The question the court will eventually have to determine is not whether Baloyi appears emotionally invested, but whether any prosecutorial conduct prejudiced the accused's fair trial rights. Any material evidence was improperly withheld. Any witness testimony reveals misconduct that affected the integrity of the prosecution. Now, this is where the evidence or the testimony of Lishebane, Makhosonke Zungu, Gwabini Zungu, Zondo comes in, because all of them are saying the same thing about Ubaloyi. All of them have the same experience with Ubaloyi. To top it up, Lishebane, as a General Lishebane, former SEPS member, says, if I, as a police official, came out of his office angry because he was persuading me to change my statement, how worse can it be for an ordinary South African? That is why I say Ubaloyi unesibindi. That is why I am shocked with how he behaves, Ubaloyi. Because Lotata Lo comes and says, me, I was not impressed with Ubaloyi. I was so angry. He even further says, Saphuma lapho sesingazwani. And on top of that, I was fetched by Ginida, but when I needed to go home, I refused. They offered me tea and I said, no, thanks. Do you see why Ubaloyi is suspicious when it comes to his involvement, when it comes to this case? He's too involved, guys. He's nursing the entire case as if it's his baby. That is why we are questioning motive yakhe. Why is he doing that? Now, if the defense succeeds in proving those allegations, it could significantly strengthen their argument that the investigation and the prosecution were compromised. If not, the court may regard the allegations as insufficient to the effect to affect, the merits of the case. Now, this is Judge Ratamu this one, and Judge Mukhateng is the one that once asked Missy, do you think Ubaloyi can compromise his career? Sir, I don't know what you're talking about because you've heard so many. That was before Azwe, all these testimonies that came. I don't know now how he feels about what he said back then because it's bad. Oh, Sanalam, it's bad. It's bad. It's not looking good at all. I don't care who says what from where. Situation is quite bad. It's honestly not nice. Now, we will forever question Ubaloyi's motive for being, when they first appeared in Boksburg, these guys, Baloyi was there in Boksburg. This was Johannesburg. You want to tell me there were no, in fact, another thing, there's a lot of reasons why we question Ubaloyi, because from Boksburg court, wasn't this case supposed to go to High Court, Johannesburg? Why Pretoria High Court? Why Pretoria High Court? And why was Baloyi? Was Baloyi always working at Pretoria or Baloyi was working in Johannesburg? How did he get to Boksburg if he was working in the Pretoria side? If he was not under the seat of Johannesburg and was under Tshwane, why did he leave Tshwane and go and attend to a case that has nothing to do with Tshwane? And then why did they take a case that happened in the city of Johannesburg and take it to the city of Tshwane? Do you see why we are like, no, man, ikona into. That is why we are questioning Ubaloyi. Why was he running around for this case? Why? Why is he too involved? Why is he too invested in this case? Why? And the way he is so invested, he does as he please, guys. And the way Judge Rata will make a ruling on something and Ubaloyi overrules Judge Rata. Yo, Ubaloyi will overrule Judge Rata straight. He overrules him. Oh, he will overrule Judge Rata. Kana xesha la lonto ka Judge Rata. Ubaloyi overrules Judge Rata every day. Sanalam, if I tell you. Oh, we am overrule. Ana xesha like. I don't know about you, but those details in Jemna, they were shocking for me. Everything, Jay, I was shocked because of it. When you look at Baloyi, what comes to mind when you think about him being in Boksburg, and Boksburg is in Johannesburg, and then the case was moved to Tshwane, and then he moves with it. Why? Are there no senior prosecutors in Tshwane? Are there no? But wait. If wait. Does that mean he has always, I'm just thinking, does that mean Ubaloyi's office has always been in Tshwane? That's why he moved the case to Tshwane. But why? Okay. Anyway, I'll see you on our next video. I want to hear your views. Thank you so much, because I'm thinking the witnesses were visiting him in Tshwane, not in Johannesburg, meaning that the office has always been at Tshwane. So why would he move from Tshwane to Johannesburg and go and deal with a case in Boksburg like that? Do you understand? Even if it's Palm Ridge, wherever they appeared. What are your thoughts? Let's talk in the comment section. I'll see you on our next video. Bye-bye.